Hello, hello. Welcome to the Life in Transitions Experts podcast, YouTube channel, and Facebook group, and the Do REI Deals channel. I'm excited to launch that channel over there. For a while, I've been working with folks who are interested in sort of doing the same thing I do as far as finding property, helping folks who may perhaps be in distressed or may need some solutions to issues with their property and helping them help others. And that's usually under my Do REI Deals, I guess brand, you could call it REI, Real Estate Investing Deals. One of the ways that I find properties is by that whole Zig Ziglar mantra. You help enough people get what they want, and you'll be able to get what you want. And so I have found that going to people who are working in estates, who are going through the probate process, particularly in North Carolina, find it to be a challenging endeavor, and any support that they can have is very useful. So if I can give that service to folks, quite often there's property involved, and I don't always buy the properties. Sometimes it's not the best solution for the estate or the personal representative, but I do try to provide as many options based on my humble experience that gives them hopefully enough information to make an informed decision. Now, I'm not an attorney and I'm not a financial advisor. I am just sharing my experience. I have been certified as a probate expert, but that simply just means it's a process that I'm dedicated, committed to supporting, helping, learning, growing as much as I can, and sharing that knowledge that I receive with folks, which hopefully can be helpful, even if I never speak to you because perhaps you picked up this YouTube channel or you're listening on Spotify or as a podcast, wherever, and you find the information useful. So awesome. So if you are attempting to do the same thing, here are 10 tips for when you are approaching a personal representative to buy probate. Okay, so probate is the process of settling the affairs of someone who's passed away. If you pass away with assets in your name or with debt in your name, there has to be a legal process of settling those issues. If you have a will, there has to be a legal way for the will to be to go through to probate and be administered. If you don't have a will, you have to administer the estate. If you do, if you were able to take advantage of some of the legal structures in place to avoid the probate process, awesome, because there are a lot of things you can do using trust, using beneficiary designations that will allow you and your family to allow your family or your loved ones or whoever is over responsible for the estate to avoid probate. It's long, it's expensive, it's public, and there's really no reason for us to have to go through it if we can put things in place, regardless of the level of wealth that you have. And so I feel like that's one of my uh, passions is growing more now to help people actually avoid the probate process in general and take control of their life and their legacy. But if you do find yourself in probate, you're not alone. There are a ton of people who are involved in there. And if you find yourself as a practitioner, maybe you're a wholesaler or a real estate investor, or maybe you're an attorney, or maybe you're someone who just wants to support people in this space, hopefully these 10 tips will be helpful to you. Now, a personal representative comes by different names. If there is a will, some places, some states are called executor or executrix, depending on the gender. Some places it's just executor, regardless of the gender. Some places you'll see them called a fiduciary, but they all really represent the person or people who are responsible for the estate. They're the ones who have stepped up and have the fiduciary responsibility to, at the best of their ability, administer the estate. And so those are the folks that we quite often approach when we are looking for property that's in probate, because they're the ones who are going to make the final decision. Now, there are ways that you can actually connect with attorneys who are working. Matter of fact, shout out to to Brad, to Bruce Hill, to Chad Corbett, to there's a lot of folks. Bill Gross. They have a great program that's called Earn that helps you earn attorney referrals now. So there's some folks who will focus on working with attorneys to support people who are going through probate. And there's some folks who approach it with another way of actually going and connecting with personal representatives. Either way, you definitely need to know how to talk to personal representatives if you get to that space. So let's look at it. 10 tips. All right. Number one, you need to be aware. You don't need to be an attorney. You need to stay in your lane, but you need to be aware of the local probate laws. In fact, it's kind of ironic that I say this because in North Carolina, where I do much of my work, most of the time property isn't necessarily a probate asset. So There are, depending on how it was purchased, how it was deeded, most often property doesn't necessarily have to go through probate, but there are reasons why someone may need to or want to go through probate so that they can either have a proper sale or make sure that there's a lot of different reasons, but you need to know your local laws. So familiarize yourself with the laws, get involved in groups, get involved in coaching. Now, don't spend all your time just being educated unless you want. Um, I mean, you want to constantly be educating yourself, but what I want to say is that you need to also take action and never step out of your lane. We probate professionals provide a great service that help people who decide to use an attorney or who may decide not to, but we never want to take the place of anyone who's an attorney, has a licensed attorney and all. So but it's still important to know the rules, regulations, because you may be able to understand processes that someone else hasn't or doesn't, or other real estate agents or real estate investors, or even maybe sometimes even attorneys haven't if they're not focused on probate, that can help the personal representative go through probate. And if you can provide value, that is, I mean, that's the name of the game, right? That's how we serve and how we're able to acquire these deals at either the discounted price or at the price that makes sense for everyone involved. Check the public records. Again, probate is public, so find out how your public records are collected, gathered. Some more rural spaces, you may need to go in and look at the microfilms and literally pull list. Some spaces you can look at everything online, so make sure you check with that. And quite often, these records have to include the contact information for the personal representative, whether it's their mailing address, and sometimes you'll actually find a viable number. Contact the probate office. I'm down at Durham County Courthouse all the time, visiting the deputy clerks and assistant clerks down there, and looking through files so that I can find people to help. And understanding and familiarizing yourself with the nuances of those spaces are important. And treat everyone. You should do this anyways. Treat everyone you come in contact with as if they're the most important person on earth. Shout out to Earl Nightingale. But, you can bring donuts, you can bring pizza. You'll be amazed, and the security, everyone involved, the support staff, you'll be amazed at how gracious people are and how helpful people are when you have a box of donuts in your hand. I mean, it really is. And you have to show that you actually genuinely care and want to provide support for folks. And quite often I found in my experience that these clerks want to help so much, but their hands are a little tied because they're restricted with the advice and opinion that they can give. In fact, they can't give any of those advice or opinions. They don't want to have any legal ramifications that would show or suggest that they led someone in the wrong way when they're going through the probate process. And so, folks like me who can come up there and say, "Hey, I can offer my opinion, my experience, and guidance if you are willing to listen, take it like a buffet." They really do appreciate that, and this can be a great tandem to support the folks going through probate. So check out your local probate space. Number four, engage with other industry professionals, right? So you have so many people involved in the probate process. And this is again, shout out to Chad Corbett's Probate Mastery, where he's really emphasized that we create a team. And to be able to support people doesn't mean you have to wear all the hats. Like the State Pro Service is the hub there, but I do need to know folks really well that I can call up, that I can connect with, that I can say, hey, I can point you in this direction. And we are all on the same team. This is a team sport, team effort, which life is in general, but particularly when you have a niche or an industry. So connecting with senior transition moving companies, connecting with clean out and U-Haul crews, connecting, of course, with attorneys, CPAs and financial advisors, contractors, folks that can support and help people who may need that support is very important. And you'll be able to hopefully provide some great insight and have some contacts and share referrals and get referrals that help serve folks. Another place to find those are those estate sales. Tip five, estate sales and auctions. Now you're going there again to find out who the personal representative is or have maybe a closer contact with them, and get a conversation with them going. And perhaps there is other property or land that's involved in the estate that you can support and help with. Now, again, you have to approach it with, that's going to be one of the tips that should have probably been number one, but approach it with empathy, approach with some with what's the word? Just, yeah, I guess empathy, and with some couth, I suppose, is one of the words you can use. That Recognize that at this point, though, during the stage, I've noticed that most people are kind of past the grieving stage, and if they've already started probate and are going down this path, it's it's it, it's not necessarily the most heated emotional space, but we can't take that for granted. And people grieve in different ways, and particularly if you're going to an estate sale where someone's loved one's personal belongings are being auctioned off, literally, it's a it could be a challenging thing. So make sure you're sensitive with the way that you do strike up the conversation and come with listening ears and a helping heart, and not necessarily, hey, do you got any property? What do you want to sell? I can help you out here, you know. So make sure you listen and cater to their needs as opposed to listing all the things you can do for someone and may not even be something that they care about or need to hear. Um, I said network industry professionals. So I guess oh, this is particularly with like real estate agents, estate planners, and other professionals who specialize in the probate process. That can be a great opportunity for referrals. So it's sort of similar with professionals, but um, this one is more like network or industry specific. So definitely do that. Also, you may need to send out personalized letters that are specific to their needs. Now, some folks see probate as a great lead source to find property, and it is. I mean, I'm involved in it. That's one reason that I'm involved, and I like how I'm able to help people while also finding property and which I can either set up and either keep for my own business or share with another investor who's so it's a lot of people being helped in the same space. And so you need to be able to set yourself apart. I don't believe in competition. You know, we all are trying to create an experience that's helpful to everyone. But if you want to be able to set yourself apart from the folks who are just sending out letters regarding, hey, I can buy your property for cash as is without a real estate commission, you need to be able to craft a professional but polite letter that shows all the things that you well that can show some of the ways that you can support them through their process that shows you understand the challenges they may be going through and that you're willing to listen. And of course you can always share that you're interested in property, but you need to be able to frame that in a way that isn't just greedy for the property. You really need to be able to serve. And so being able to send out personalized letters is a great way of doing that. And there's a lot of great resources out there. Matter of fact, if you want to see the ones I use, I'll let your boy. All the Leads, I got a shout out to them. There was a great All the Leads, a great company that focuses on probate and helping people through probate. And they have some awesome uh, letters. And again, Chad Corbett's group was able to help me find some that I modified for my own personal style and my uh, my area. This is great. Number eight, be patient and understanding. Now, when we're dealing with probate process property, it can be an emotional time, as we said. And when we're dealing with probate, one of the things that we can provide is some clarity, um, is of what the timeline is going to look like, and helping people understand that this can be a long process. And so there are ways that you can buy property in probates, or that's kind of connected to the probate process before probate ends in North Carolina. Um, and so you need to understand that, but also when you're dealing with people, you need to be patient and you need to seek to understand before you try to share what you have or be understood, you know. Also, you want to conduct your due diligence just like you would do with any property. And I'm not saying that you spend 3 4 hours going doing an assessment and all these different things before you even have a property under contract, but it's very important that you understand the property status before you make any type of offer. And so are there any legal encumbrances? I just unfortunately, well, fortunately because I get to learn from this, but I have a property right now that's under contract that was assumed was going to be able to assign to a buyer who awesome buyer, by the way. um, and it was going to be a pretty nice, I guess, financial payoff for my company. And the seller was very happy with the numbers that we gave it to them, or that we put it under contract for. However, the property wasn't deeded properly, and now there may be 30 to 40 nieces and nephews who have a right to the property. And so, had I worked with a title company prior, or I guess I figured it out once we went through the escrow, it's obviously not at this time a viable deal, but there may be other ways to crack that nut. And I'm still working and I'm still learning. And thank you to everybody who's been able to help me along the way. So just do your due diligence so that you know what you're getting into, even when it comes to the condition of the property, the value, and again, of course, the legal encumbrances that may be involved. And last but not least, number 10, consult with legal professionals. Now, goodness gracious, now, when we talk about real estate agents, they're awesome folks. But when we're talking about legal professionals, we're talking about real estate attorneys, folks who are specific in real estate. Um, not every attorney works. There's niches that they work in. So make sure that you're speaking to an attorney that are they focused on probate or estate administration? Just not just, but it's very important. Administrating, going through and making sure everything is open and closed and deadlines are met properly. Are they involved in litigation where they're uh, there may be some conflict involved, and there may be some need to stand in front of a judge or in front of the court to be heard, so all parties can be heard? Or are they part of the hopefully the estate planning that's going on prior that helps people avoid probate? So you need to consult with all these legal professionals involved in the estate world and space. Shout out to attorney Willie Fennell. He has been amazing. Well, there's a lot of attorneys that help me, but this brother has really supported me in so much along the way. Also happens to be a great friend who was a part of my wedding. Guys, I know I'm wearing the same shirt. I told you I'm gonna wear this shirt all week. Got one more day to wear it, and then a whole lifetime to I guess embody it. This is my husband's shirt, but I digress. Connect with some great legal professionals out there so that you can um, seek guidance and support and translate that to people that you're working with. All right. So remember, it's essential to be professional. It's essential to be empathetic. It's essential to be responsible as well when you're helping people going through these challenging times. That's for any type of property that you're working with in distress as well. I mean, I think that kind of goes unsaid. If you want support on your real estate journey, perhaps you are looking to dig deeper into the probate space, feel free to scan. This will take you to, I think it'll take you to my Calendly link, or it may take you to the website that has the resources up there, but also there's Calendly links up there. Schedule a free consultation. I love working with people, having conversations. I'm doing it more and more when it comes to practitioners, and it's helping me clarify the experience that I'm having, and still or iron sharpens iron. So pretty awesome. So again, just to wrap up, number one, research local probate laws. Number two, check the public records. Three, reach out and connect with your probate court. Four, engage with professionals that are circular around the work. Five, go to estate sales, excuse me, or auctions. Six, work with industry professionals related uh, to the real estate. And oh yeah, seven, send personalized letters. Eight, remember to be patient and understanding. Nine, make sure you're conducting your due diligence for the property. And 10, consult with legal professionals as well. All right. This is Courtney Rollins. Oh, that's a pretty long one. I don't even have as long as this, but hopefully this was helpful to you. And if you have any questions, reach out. And I would love for you to hit that like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Peace. Oh, let your light shine.